Welcome everyone to Unleash Portal, a global gathering for women ready to unlock more wealth, our unshakable voices, and our true power so we can move from our deepest desires to our golden destiny. This is our time to break free from boxes that they were never made for us and to fully anchor on earth the power of nature that we already are as women. And today I have the pleasure to be talking with Stassin. I knew I wasn't going to say it right.
Right.
And we are going to be talking about why sacred work and money were never meant to be enemies. I am super excited about this conversation because it's so needed. And Eimear is a Shanaki, an Irish sacred storyteller and flame keeper for the healing and resurrection of the traditions of her Irish lineage. And she has a background in economics and that I didn't know. And I have, like, I don't, we haven't met, but we know for a long time. And a bachelor degree of commerce in International College of Dublin. So I didn't know all of this and do 20-year career in corporate financial services. So really talking about money is also part of your life story. And she created also the Irish Wisdom School, where the voices and wisdom of Ireland could speak freely once again. I love that. So welcome.
Thank you.
And so the topic is rooted wealth and sacred work and why they were enemies. And I feel like even bringing a little bit of your own personal story is very interesting because you have this background in economics and finance. And it's like, how have you woven that with the work that you do at the moment?
Yeah. And it's funny, I was having a little chuckle when you said, "Oh, I didn't know," because we've met through the Summit Sphere online, and I love your work and follow you. And it's so, your voice is so powerful in this work, in this world. And then the fact that, oh, you didn't know I had done this degree in commerce, master's in economics, and a little voice within me was like, yeah, I've hit it well. I've hit it well. So for me, I stepped into entrepreneurship in 2017 and turned my back on my 20-year career that began in financial services, corporate financial services, working for in fund administration, fund management, in the custody of assets. So the work I was doing was very much, it was related to my degree in economics and business, and also very market driven. So I was working with global markets, pricing stocks and shares, using systems like Bloomberg and Reuters to look up the price of stocks. And it was all very exciting at the time, and I thrived on it and loved it. And along the way, then I took an internal through different job changes and redundancies. And I took an internal and moving to Scotland after traveling around the world for a year. I took a move into training because the world of business was becoming so deadline driven, and I felt for myself there was no space for me to breathe the older I was getting. And by now we were about to start a family. It was actually when I was pregnant with our first child that I then took that internal career move into training. And that, I feel, seeded my entrepreneurial calling. And that began to give me some breathing space to really focus on what matters for me. However, to answer your question about the weaving of the corporate and the spiritual and money and all of that, in the beginning, I did not weave, and I did not want to weave any of that because I was done with corporate. And maybe there's people listening that are working in business and love it. And for me, my journey was to have that experience for the 20 years and then make that conscious choice to step into the unknown and leave the world of corporate behind. So I went through the revolving door I now live in Scotland, in Edinburgh's West End. The sun was setting, and it's 11:11 here as I'm saying that. The sun was setting in the skyline, and I felt so filled with hope about this unknown future that lay ahead for me. And it was only over really the last few years that I've kind of been forced to turn back towards money, to begin healing my personal relationship with money. And as I began opening to that and voicing that, the healing and the experiences that unfolded have been really powerful and really healing. So that's why I was so delighted when this topic of money and spirituality was part of your event of unleashing the power within us. And yeah, I can share more about that, but ultimately it had to be that choice of turning back towards money and the riches and wealth of my personal journey, and therefore all of our journeys. It's no coincidence the path that we walk upon, be that business, corporate, spiritual, all of that. It's all part of our learning and why we're here.
Yes, I feel that part is very important, that if we were dedicating our energy to something before, like now is a time to bring all our parts together. And this is why we were doing that for a long time. For me, when you were mentioning that I couldn't breathe, I had the same experience working in academia. It was like I loved this. Like I didn't quit because I didn't love education or higher. Like I was going for giving speeches around the world. And I was talking like in France and Japan and living in Thailand. I liked all of that, but the whole system was soul draining. It was more paperwork than really preparing the students for the future that was coming. And then it's like I'm doing the opposite of what I feel I need to be doing. The whole system needs to change. And I think that is the whole conversation as well, that each one of us is part of changing that system. And for some of us, we need to get out of that and then create something on our own. But some people also are called to, within the system, change it. So I feel that money conversation is very important because where are you in that rooted wealth? And how can we bring that forward? Because we need more people with heart and power with money as well.
Yes, totally, absolutely. And the concept of a wealth that's rooted is so, for me, it really opens up our our insights into what wealth and money actually is. Because I've just returned from hosting a retreat in Ireland, where I'm from, and Ireland's ancient East in particular, where there are so many ancient monuments and where so many hoards of gold and fine, beautiful jewelry has been unearthed from the bogs. The bogs are full of wealth. So the land is the wealth. Being able to walk in the land barefoot in our bodies is wealth. And also charging money. I didn't do this for free. I priced it up on my Excel spreadsheet. I felt into what feels like a good amount so that I receive wealth and abundance from taking people to the land. So it's what feels good and nourishing for me, for the other people as we begin to weave. So the weaving is happening, the wealth weaving on the land and through our income, earning a living and money as well. So it's very much deeply rooted in the land and also that rooted within us so that we're supported in the work that we're called to do. And I knew none of that when I first stepped out in April 2017 into this freelance world. And I've made many mistakes. I've had many very fierce experiences along the way. And I've learned so much. I didn't think part of my journey would be about turning back towards money, befriending money, but it makes a lot of sense from the land that I come from, the colonial wound that still sits in the land and catches here in my throat. So the healing still continues. The famine wound from this great hunger that is still held, even though it's releasing within the land. Scarcity, lack, shame, it's all there. And I know Ireland isn't unique. I've lived in Scotland for the last 26 years. It's here too, and it's in other lands around our earth. So all of this, when we tap into these deep roots, our ancestors, our lineage, our connection to the land, then we are opening up this river of wisdom and consciousness to support us. And money's part of that because it wants to flow, as I'm sure many people have heard. It wants to flow, wants to support us. So can we open to receive that?
Hmm.
And
And I,
sometimes that's easier said than done in
yes.
my personal experience.
100%. Because we were conditioned to be our energies most of the time up here. And for women, it's so important that our energy is rooted and our womb is open and celebrating. And something that I keep feeling within this summit is this golden roots going everywhere. And I love that you were talking about these roots because it's like that's the possibility that women are bringing these golden roots and the silver roots. And these are the ley lines of like all the wealth that is already available for each one of us. And then the more women who are deeply rooted in this wealth, we are bringing beauty into the world. And that is something that it hasn't been that valued, like everything has to be productive. But beauty in itself is thriving. It's like we want to be here on earth. It's safe to be on earth. We don't want to transcend. This is an amazing experience. So it's like, let's have fun being human. So how can we change that and see money as mother money, as it was something that you bring in your work? So I would love you to talk about that. Like, it's like, how can we see that mother money to support us?
Yes, it's beautiful. And I could feel the power of that, the golden roots. It's like this, it's such a powerful energy beneath our feet, literally, when we connect to our roots. And also what struck me as well as you were speaking is that, I've had people tell me like feel wealthy and the wealth will come. And there is truth in that, but that used to frustrate me as well. But having just come back, as I said, from Ireland and hosting this retreat, I bought, when I was at the Hill of Tara, I bought this new cape. It's like a cape, a shawl, a broth, a shawl. And suddenly I began to feel like that queen and these goddesses that did walk the land. Suddenly I was rooting deeper into the wealth within me and standing taller and feeling what is here and available for us. And Mother Money, so it was back in 2024, the end of 2024, and that year in particular was the worst, one of the most challenging years of my entrepreneurial existence. And it was my Chiron return. I knew nothing about Chiron, although I got to know Chiron in that year and also Chericlo as well to support me. But that was the year when I could no longer run from the rising debt that I was experiencing in funding my business, in trusting that, build it and they will come in stepping into the unknown, doing all these things. But for some reason, the money, it was like a feast and famine situation for me. So I had to face the rising credit card bills and put things in place to curb the spiraling debt that I was going into. And I couldn't believe it. And when I shared this, eventually spoke with my husband, with my family, they're like, but you've got a degree in commerce. You've got a master's in economics. And I'm like, yeah. However, none of that matters now because I meant to experience this. And that's probably why I went into the financial world, because I had to experience this debt, which felt like death to me. So 2024 was a death year. And I would wake up during the night, and maybe people, if you're feeling this, I understand. And I'll get on to Mother Money and how that will support you. But I felt like my lungs were being crushed with the weight of this rising debt that I was experiencing. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't speak. It was really physically impacting me. And I thought, gosh, this isn't good, because the more I try to suppress this and hold this in, the more it's actually affecting me physically. So as I began to seek support and open to the learning and the wisdom within this wound, as there is, that's when, well, first of all, the relief, and I could express and let the shame release and the scarcity. But also, that's when Mother Money came to me towards the end of 2024. And she spoke, and I'll share the transmission today as well when that feels right, like a good moment for you. Basically, she was, you know, quite annoyed by how I and society, by how she's been treated. And I was so surprised that money came through as this, now I'm not, but as this feminine force when I'd worked in the very patriarchal, uber
Mm.
masculine structure of corporate banking. So she came through and was like, enough of this. I am your mother too. I am connected to Mother Earth. The riches and the wealth are rooted within my body. The gold, the trees, the stories, the ancient beings that you can still connect to in this land, and the money that wants to flow to you. But I'd been blocking that so much because it felt so unsafe within me to soften, to open, to receive, and also to ask for nourishing pricing
Mm.
that felt nourishing to me. So from that year on, things really, really changed, began to change, and the fear around asking, the shame about receiving began to dissolve. But it all began with that conscious choice of turning back towards money
Mm.
and falling back in love with money as the
Mhm.
mother, the great mother.
I love that sentence, falling back in love with money. And just before we go to the transmission, I would love, because it's like when we talk about money, we're always talking about that nourishing, receiving, feeling safe. And you mentioned that, but you also mentioned that asking. And that I feel is very important, especially when it's a business. So for anyone who is having like, I want to build something, so then you need to learn how to sell your offers. And this is something I love to do. Is like I love holding other people to move through that process to build their businesses, because it's such a transformational process to really sell. And we have such a I don't know, like distorted idea of what it means to be selling something. And just like to bring that active, because it's like it's not just about opening ourselves to receive, we also need to take action towards selling, asking for support, and that for women many times is very difficult. So before we go into the transmission, I will love you to talk about that masculine also that is part of the process of calling in more money.
Yes, yeah. And it's like that word money and sales, can send tremors of fear through people. And that has been a scary process for me over the years. And you find when you start building your community, people want to support you. People want to walk the lands with you, and they want to that exchange, that sacred exchange of money. And I found it's become easier and easier for me personally when I know like this, whether it's an online program or a summit or a new idea for a retreat. I know because I'm so full of love and excitement for this product, for this offering, that when I offer that out, because as you say, I'm not just sitting here in my lounge talking to my dog, which I do every day, going, oh, I really hope people are going to sign up and find me. Like, how are people going to find you? Have you got a YouTube channel? Are you out there on social media? Are you speaking about it? Are you sending emails to your community? Because exactly that is the other part. It's the balance of the masculine, feminine. It's the being and the doing. And for me, it has to start with that fire, the flame, the ignition of the flame within me, for me to feel excited about this because I've tried following other people's templates and it doesn't always work. We've got to adapt them for ourselves. We take the best bits. So it's that flame that will fuel the offering, and then you put that out there, you share it, you speak about it because you're so excited that you cannot not do that. And then the price part, which was really tricky for me in the beginning, to actually ask people for money. And it took many years of practice. That price is the sacred exchange. It is the sacred giving that you will receive when it feels right. So I mentioned earlier, I have my Excel spreadsheets. I'll price everything up. Oh, if it's a retreat, it's like, what is this all going to cost? And what feels like a nourishing profit for me to receive? So Excel is my friend. I can't believe it, because I turned away from that from my corporate world as well. So I don't know, does that answer your
A
question?
hundred
Right.
percent, a
Yeah.
100%. And I think even bringing the word profit is so important. It's like it feels like when we are offering something that is sacred, like you have to do it for free, and or at least just cover the cost. And your energy, your life force is also there. So it's very important that that is nourished. And I keep feeling that the more the women are pouring into herself first, the more we're changing the world. And in order to do that, sometimes we need to sell what we are offering in the right price. And for that, we need to know how much is what we, not only what we need, what we desire. And here is like that idea within the summit from our deepest desires, because the word desire has been also um, made like evil. Like you need to detach from desire, and desire is life force. Like if we don't have desires, we are just dead bodies on the ground. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point of all of this? So I feel it's very important to bring that the money that we desire, not only what
Yeah.
we need.
And I've felt the opposite of that. So I've learned the heart have to learn through experience, this direct experience. And I've learned that as well, of that offering something that actually hasn't been, it's been too low a price because I feel it. I feel the drain and the strain and the thirst and the hunger, all these things that are the story of the land as well.
Mm.
So how about really stepping into that queen energy, that mother energy of what is going to nourish and sustain your life force beyond that need, and step into that desire and that divine gold I think you mentioned at the start, the
Mm.
gold standard. That's why gold is the elemental of the noble royal. class, the kings and queens of the land. So yeah, it's and the more we get in tune with our body and that intuition, the more we will know alongside the practical steps,
Yes.
the Excel
And it's
spreadsheet and the pricing.
yeah, the spreadsheet, like bring it back. And then it depends on each one of us because I'm an astrologer and like our money signature for each person is not the same. So it's like not everyone needs a spreadsheet that much as we need to bring money in our way. So, like for instance, for me, it's much more about the flowing and the power dynamics, and because the water is the element that is ruling my money, houses, and my work and everything. So I don't need. It's the opposite. It's kind of like just allow it to flow, but it's Scorpio is the ruler of my money house, so it's kind of like it has a lot of power and it's being a forcing function of evolution in my life, like the both, like every time it's tight is being forcing me to grow up into the next level. And since I was a teenager, like I moved from high school to a different high school because it was private and my parents couldn't afford that. But because of that, I entered into a spiritual community and everything changed. My whole community changed, but it was the best change ever that I didn't want in that moment. But life knew better. And money has been that pushing force of like, you need to get out of here into your next level. So it's so interesting that it works differently for each person. And now is, I think, a great moment to have that experience to connect with Mother Money and to really bring that gold into our whole system.
Yes. So Mother Money speaks. Mother Money, soul gold. So this is a direct transmission of Mother speaking. So I invite people to really relax into this space. Close your eyes if you wish to allow these words and their frequency to flow through you. Trust me. Trust how our relationship will grow and can flourish. Get to know me, Mother Money, my voice and expression once again, and how I wish to be channeled through you. Let's walk together and renew our relationship to repair, to heal, and emerge even stronger. We can repair the damage that's been done and line the cracks with gold as the new money story unfolds. Stop arguing over me or complaining about how I restrict your life, your movements, your ability to purchase this or that, or live your life to the full. Respect me and who I am, how I wish to serve thee. For I, like you, have a heart of gold and wish to support you in your art and creativity as you bring that to the world. For when we heal our relationship, we can have so much fun together, weaving and dancing with laughter and joy. So speak about me with love in your heart, expansiveness that I am here to bring. Yes, I challenge you to grow, just like I'm challenged to grow as a divine being. Let me be a conduit for humanity to actualize their dreams. And do not damn me. Undam me. Let me be free to flow where I need to go to carve out the new path through the rock that appeared so impenetrable at one time. Let me nourish you with deep abundance of what may be purchased because of me, with me. Mother me as I mother you. Oh, when did our relationship change from one of ease to one of density or struggle? When did our relationship change? What happened for it to gradually change over the years? Is it a reflective of your journey of self-worth and empowerment? Am I a mirror for your walk with Chiron? Is Chericlo the mother in this situation who has always been here? For I, as Mother Money, am a divine child creation of God, Goddess, as you are. And I'm here to serve you. I'm here to stay for now. So do not repress or suppress me, for together we'll weave the way of what we always knew was true. Because you are one in a million, and I am too. And I help you answer the $1 million question of what would you like to have happen with your relationship and money. For the Magdalene wealth codes are gifted to you, and you are your own wealth source. You are wealth. So reel me back in, invite me back into the flow. We need new ways, and I'm here to inspire these. So feel me now, for I am so much more than the numbers in your digital bank account or the spare change and cash in your wallet. I am so much more than that. So connect with me through the elementals. Feel the power of my energy surging forth through you as rooted wealth. For I am the fire, the earth, air, and water. I am all of these and more. I am Nyarth, life force, energy. I hold great power when we work together in divine ways and let go of the distortions once and for all. So I offer you this, to fall back in love with money, fall back in love with me, Mother Money. Take me back into your fold. I'm here to support, to nurture, to excite, and support your every dream. With love, Mother Money. So you can take a moment here and allow these words to flow through you and land and settle and integrate. And if you wish, take some time to journal with what emerged for you, anything that activated within you or triggered or ignited. Notice all of this, because this is part of our healing and turning towards money and befriending Mother Money once again. For she is an expression of your soul gold, truly. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I feel this whole heart activation like very strongly, and it's amazing. Like every single time lately that is working with these invisible energies, there is so much magic available at this moment. And it doesn't seem that when we see the 3D reality, but what is really being cooked in the unseen is amazing.
Yes, and that's the magic that will unfold in the synchronicity and the miracles when we open to that, even with that what's happening in the 3D world.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for acknowledging that.
Yeah, 100%. I could see like a crown, and it's like each one of us connecting with this gold in every cell of our bodies. So it's like that activation is, it feels very strong, and that fall back in love with money. I love that. I love that. I feel it's something that in your work is very important. So yeah.
Yeah, and that is therefore the weaving
Yes.
of for everyone where we've come from to where we are now. It's all weaving together, and we're the bridges supporting that weaving. Yeah.
And the free gift, so then if someone is really activated by this conversation and they want to go deeper with your work, what is the free gift about? And then also how can they go deeper into this reclaiming of the voices of Irish culture and wisdom of the land?
Mm, yes. So the free gift, I'm going to create a new free gift with a money meditation. And so I haven't actually created it yet. So it's going to be fresh off the creativity block for this event. And I'll tune in because your event is over the time of Bealtaine or Beltane. So I'll tune into which goddess really wishes to step forth. Probably Queen Maeve, who is the goddess of Bealtaine. She is pure abundance. And this will be a meditation journey to help people go deeper and also release what comes up to create space for that gold and that river to flow within. So it'll be something beautiful and healing and nourishing and activating to then take that action that we talked about as well.
Yes, 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 yes. And then to go deeper, they will have all your information below the video. But if there is anything else that you would like to say or anything that you are bringing forward, like in summertime, for instance, or if you are doing a retreat or something coming up after the summit, is
Yes, so yeah, if when you sign up for the free gift, you'll then be on my mailing list. So the retreats this year are actually full with a waiting list. So sign up to my list, and you can also sign up to a wait list if you do wish to retreat to Ireland or Scotland or beyond Costa Rica with me, because I'm planning next year's events already. And I like to take people to Ireland in particular in smaller groups. So um, yeah, follow me and you'll see what's emerging.
wonderful, wonderful. Any course or anything that is being cooked
Well,
lately?
yeah, it's funny.
Gestated?
I should have this like off. So right now it's in-person retreats, but I do have an online event that will be coming up in August on the 8/8, actually to celebrate the witch awakening that I had 6 years ago. So yeah, stay tuned and you
Yes, yes,
will
yes.
hear more. And you'll
Yeah.
hear more from Mar as well as part
Yes,
of that.
because I'm part of that event that I'm
Yeah.
super excited because I will have like a Jupiter on my North Node in Leo with this energy. Yes. So it's like
Amazing.
this summer feels very like fully unleashed. So this is why this is the time for us to kind of like unleash what has been trapped. And then the summer, I feel like there is this whole celebration of a new being that is ready to come out. So thank you for everything that you brought forward and for thank you also to Mother Money for being here present today and thank you for the land and like every single person who is weaving this magic at the moment on earth. And anything else that you would like to share before we close?
I feel when you said Mother Money again, this is such a powerful force when we honor her, as so many people know. This is a powerful being that is here, the mother and the money weaving together. So these are archetypes, but also a very powerful living force that is here now for us to connect with.
Yes, 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 to celebrate. I keep saying that the whole healing space needs more celebration. So it's something that I'm bringing a lot. It's kind of like this is not the time to keep heavy, like I keep fixing myself, I keep doing my shadow work. It's yes, 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 do all of that, but celebrate life as it is as well. And I think money also likes that very much. It's like celebrate what is already available for that to bring more.
Totally, totally, yeah. I'm here celebrating, dancing around the sacred wells with you and around the fire.
Yes, 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 to that. So thank you, everyone.